All right, welcome in everybody. Episode 2, season 9. Josh Hartle, how we doing?
Good. How about you?
Man, I'm doing good. I'm actually going to do a plug to start this show, Daniel, because Josh will know this guy. Shout out to the Athletic Collection. I got a Brock Wilkin poster.
That's one of two.
Right. Mama Wilkin got the other one. The question becomes, Daniel, who comes down? Because I got no room, bro. And it ain't gonna be an LSU cat. So one of these Tennessee, Arkansas, Mississippi State, they coming down, man.
This
Brock's
is
that's the home run king.
this is what you do. You just take whoever has the best week and you put their poster over one of the ones that has the worst week.
Oh man. So we're already playing
Just
Survivor with these
cover it
dudes.
up.
And now
Yeah.
we playing Wall Survivor. Okay.
Yeah. I gotta shout out my boy Josh, man. He's on
Yeah.
he's on my
Yeah.
my
He
tribe.
drafted you, Josh. I'm a little pissed off about it, to be honest.
Oh, for real? Yeah,
Yeah.
man.
So
We'll
ba
get into all that though.
yeah, so well, let's break the ice first, man. Maybe you're into it, maybe you're not. You've been watching the college football playoffs?
I have, yes, sir.
All right, on 1 to 10 scale, what we rating it?
I mean, it's every bit of a 9.5 for sure.
Solid. All right, so gotta know, man. If you had to put your money down, who's winning, Michigan or Washington?
I'm taking Washington. I picked them to win it all once the Final Four got released. They have the best player in the country in Michael Penix. I thought he got snubbed for the Heisman. I guess they don't reward winning, but it's all good. He's gonna win a natty, so that's more important anyway.
Because I don't want to spend an hour arguing, Josh, I'm just gonna let it slide like I didn't hear that because obviously I'm a LSU fan.
Yeah,
So we just gonna keep on trucking. What I will ask you about Washington, that game got weird at the end. Did you start to get nervous?
I was nervous. Yep, I was really nervous.
I can't say that I've ever seen your own player go down and cost you giving the ball back with the clock. I was like, and if that happened, that kid was gonna feel terrible, and he was hurt. Like it's not like he was faking to stop the clock on purpose. So that'd have been oh man, I'd felt so bad for the dude. But I asked you just before the show, did you have a good Christmas? Everything. The question that I want the listeners to know, first of all, it's a giving season. What was your favorite gift that you gave to someone?
So probably I got my brother some good, nice clothing from Lulu. That's a good gift. That's probably my favorite clothing brand. I got my sister and my mom a Lulu like belt bag. I got my sister like an all white one. I got my mom a black one, so they can kind of twin with that. Going into the Wake Forest game. So those are some pretty good gifts. Um,
Solid gift giving, damn, because he's doubling because he's taking care of them at the games too for him. I see. Okay. What about your favorite gift that you got? Hopefully, I don't know, Daniel. Jake Rucker gonna come on here last night talking about his parents got him a cruise. Like, that man's 24 years old, still getting gifts like that. Lucky.
yeah. I mean, my brother got me some New Balance 550s that I really like, some red ones, white and red. Um, he's got me looking good, so that was probably my favorite gift. I got a lot of clothes. I like clothes, so I'm pretty easy to get some gifts for anyway. So
Yeah, no doubt. Can't go wrong with clothes. And since you said New Balances, that's who Brock signed with. So Brock need to send you a pair too. Come on now.
that's all
No.
right. I have a feeling that next year and every year after that, Josh's gifts are going to be progressively better, way better.
Okay.
Just have a crazy feeling. Yeah, that's the goal.
So coming into the year, some people do it, some people don't. Do you have a New Year's resolution?
Not really. Just stuff I've been building on. I kind of just want to like get better at handling adversity. Like, so for me, that's kind of like doing stuff that I don't like to do, or doing stuff that makes me uncomfortable. Really just trying to build character. That's kind of the biggest thing, and try and grow any way I can. Really.
Yeah, speaking of building character, I heard something awesome last night. I keep referencing the episode, but I mean, Trey last night said he wanted to see the sun every day before he looked at his phone. So you want to be intentional. I was like, damn, he's teaching me wisdom because I don't do that. So
Definitely.
that's a character builder right there. Not looking at technology, going actually putting your eyes on the sun first, getting that natural daylight.
I
All
mean,
right.
half my day would be over if I waited to do that. I mean,
Well, I mean, not everybody gets up at like 4 a.m. to work out, bro.
Hey, do what you got to do, man.
I hear you. All right, Josh, what kind of music you vibing with right now? What's your go-to band song? What we listen to?
I'm listening to a lot of Travis Scott, um, and Gunna. Gunna's my favorite rapper. He was on my Spotify Wrapped the whole year, number one. Um, I'm looking for a new walkout, maybe potentially. Last year was Way Back by Travis Scott. I might keep it, I might change it. I don't know. If I find something better, I'll probably change it, but still up in the air.
Daniel, we're gonna keep hitting the East Coast guests because it was so nice to hear rap music as opposed to country. These SEC boys, hey, talking about Morgan Wallen, like, dude, come on, like, hit us with some good music. I'm down with Travis Scott. I'll be looking for it when I'm in Wake in March. I want to hear the walkout. I'm not even gonna look it up beforehand. That way I'll be caught with a surprise.
That's right.
All right, last one, and then we'll get into your story. If you could be any superhero, who would you be and why?
Probably Spider-Man. I don't know. I'm always fat. I like his movies. He can just like climb any building, like just shoot like any kind of web. Like it's pretty dope. You
Yeah.
know, he's pretty
Uh,
chill.
I mean, you can't go wrong really with any superhero, but yeah, Spider-Man, like you said, the movies that have been coming out definitely makes him the go-to guy, I feel like.
He's all right. He ain't no Batman, but
Oh, come
all
on,
right.
stop it. Batman, only his villains are cool, not him himself.
Yeah, I agree.
That's because they try to one up my dude. They just can't. But that's all right. All right, Josh, let's get into this, man. Obviously, we gotta go all the way back. So talk to me a little bit about where you're from, your hometown, growing up.
Yeah, so I'm from King, North Carolina. It's about 20 minutes north of Wake. Um, I grew up, I'm a big family and faith-oriented guy. So I'm really close to my family. I actually always was a UNC fan my whole life, and I always thought I would play baseball at UNC. And turns out, I liked Wake more when it came down to it. I didn't. I committed when I was a freshman in high school. Um,
Let's
so
let's let's not jump too far forward now.
He's already doing commitment. We got
I
to get
mean,
into that
we
family
got
that he's talking about.
yeah, I mean, we gotta give mom a shout out here. I mean, everybody's got moms, and we gotta talk about them. But you got mom, dad, you got two siblings. Any other siblings? Mom and dad together growing up? How was that?
yeah, my brother, he's somebody who I looked up to, my whole life. He played sports, he played basketball, baseball and soccer. So I pretty much followed in his footsteps, and he's a big reason, where I am today. And why I love sports, and he's somebody I look up to. My sister, I give her some love too. She's always, motivated me and helped me get that competitive edge always. She always supported me. I would always play like basketball games and like the rec league and middle school games, and she would always yell at the referee in the stands in support of me, which is pretty cool. Um,
A
you know, like
dude your size, you playing rec basketball, bro? That's not even fair.
I know it was my dad like ran the league kind of. So I was like, all right, I'll play.
Man,
But
I'd be so mad Daniel I walked in there. I mean, in middle school, how tall were you, Josh?
I was like 5'8", 5'9".
Man, I was probably walking in there 5'2", pissed as hell.
Josh was a grown man, bro. He ain't got time for little boys in middle school. But I will ask, man. Obviously, you're a big guy. Where does the height come from, or is everybody in the family tall?
Everybody in my family's tall. My dad, he's 6'4". My mom's 5'10". My brother's an inch taller than me. He's about 6'6". Um, he got the more athletic genes. He jumps high, runs fast. He got the better genes than I did. I guess I just throw a ball. All right, that's about it.
This man, look, come on, talking about he got the better genes. Josh, do you watch highlight film of yourself, bro? Like, I mean, it don't get much better than you do.
I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, I was a distinct moment. I watched one of the best games I've ever watched in Omaha last year, and a guy by the name of Josh Hartle was on the mound just pumping.
But his
So
brother's
I mean,
better,
don't
though.
I mean clearly, but let me ask you this: Can you? like sprinkle a little bit of the genetic code, like, and bottle it up and give me some, give Jim some? Like,
I
I
just
mean,
need an inch so I can be at least 6 foot.
I mean, a family full of tall folks, all of them can dunk a basketball probably. Like, come on, man, just a little,
I'm
just a
willing to bet. I'm willing to bet mom 5'10". I know she had to play some sports,
She played volleyball growing up. Yeah, she did.
spiking it down on folks. Okay.
putting it down on people, I bet. So at what point, obviously sports, you mentioned it, all the, athleticism that runs in the family. At what point do you get into sports, and, when did you just, go, hey man, I'm going to play some baseball. That's what I'm going to do.
Yeah, so at a young age, I followed my brother. My dad used to throw wiffle balls in the yard to us, like our front yard. I was like 1.5. I was hitting. We have film actually. My mom used to like record us, and I would just hit, a lot anytime I could. I was always active, always grew up outside, just following my brother, doing those things. I played basketball and soccer, those sports, growing up and stuff. And but I always had a passion for baseball more so than the other ones. I would guess I was just kind of naturally good at it when I was younger. And it helped that I was bigger than everybody too. So like that attracted me too, at a young age. But I stopped playing basketball after my middle school, 8th grade year. I was gonna play in high school, but I decided not to. And one of the biggest regrets of my life, not playing in high school. But you know, it's all right. And I took off with baseball. I thought it was good to focus on that. But I wish I played basketball in high school. It would have been pretty cool.
I mean, from all accounts, it seems like that was a good choice. So don't feel too bad now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can definitely see where you're coming from. Obviously, when you work hard and you have this talent, you want to take advantage of every opportunity that you get, because you definitely know, and I'm sure you guys, talk about this at Wake Forest, is like not every day is guaranteed, and the abilities that you have, you don't want to waste them. So as a kid, not wanting to waste those things, and looking back, I can see kind of, where you're coming from when you say that you wish you would have at least given it a try. Um, but obviously playing a lot of sports growing up, you had to have a favorite athlete. So who was your favorite athlete, and who inspired you the most?
My favorite athlete was LeBron James. I mean, that's a pretty easy one. I mean, he was the greatest basketball player ever.
Oh,
Uh,
easy, easy.
I,
I let the Heisman one go. I can't let that one go. I just can't.
I know.
Take it back and say second. Just say second,
All
please.
right, second. Yeah, the Heisman was a lot. I know. I jumped the gun on that.
Oh no, we started this show before we start interviewing college athletes. We started this show with the Last Dance talking about Michael Jordan. We can't have Michael be number two on the show. You gotta be one.
But here's the thing, Josh. Did have you ever seen Michael Jordan? Not highlights, not clips, but like a full game of Michael Jordan.
No.
So that's what I challenge people to do, is watch Michael play an entire game, and how he plays from start to finish, and really how much time he spends on the court as opposed to how much time he spends on the bench. Like, it is unbelievable, like the discrepancy of time that he spent on the court that guys now, and it's not any fault of their own, it's just how things go now. But the guy was an absolute beast. He wanted to be on the court. Like, mentally, he was just different, and you could see it throughout the entire game. Like, he was on a different level than every other guy, even the best of the best. And I think that's what made him special. And LeBron has that killer instinct in him too, where he's like, all right, give me the ball, and he knows, oh, nobody can touch me. If you give LeBron James the ball at the top of the key, and you tell him just to drive to the hoop, there's nobody that can stop that dude. Nobody. So,
So
like,
speaking of length of time playing, Daniel, to switch to baseball, since he's a baseball player. I was looking at the stats on Nolan Ryan, and they said what you'd have to do to be able to match because of how long he played. It's things that won't ever happen. Thinking about what things that Mike did, things that Nolan did.
it's amazing, like, arm injuries, and like, I'm sure they were a thing, but
He
like,
played
how do,
27 years.
how do you have that duration? If
Josh, you imagine playing into your mid 40s, throwing a ball from the bump. Your arm would have to be falling off by then.
Yeah, I don't know how you do that. Honestly, I have no idea. I mean, that's unreal.
he's a robot, bro. That's the only explanation I have. So, um, obviously, LBJ, you know, inspiring your favorite athlete growing up, but at what point do you make that decision? Were you a kid, or was it something that over time you're like, man, I just respect this guy, and now that's the guy that I look at.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up watching him. He was like the guy pretty much in my era of like watching basketball. Like Kobe was kind of towards the back end of his career, I guess. So then like the next guy was LeBron. So, you know, all the hype was around him. He was, the guy in the media. So that's who like I saw on my iPad, scrolling through Vine and all those apps, like watching highlights of LeBron. I was like, wow, this dude's crazy. Uh, but I can't fault MJ, he didn't lose in the finals. I mean,
We were just messing with you. You grew up with LeBron. That's not your fault. You grew up. That's why Daniel said he challenged you because you didn't watch Mike, so of course you're not going
Yeah,
to say Mike.
yeah,
it's
that's fine.
I mean, you can go before our era and you could talk about the Chamberlains and the Bill Walton and all that stuff. Like, I mean, or I said Bill Walton, uh,
Bill
Bill
Walton.
Russell, Bill Walton, Bill Russell. You knew what I meant to say there. Anyway, guys that we ain't never seen play.
Yeah, it's hard to like even in football, like you can't. It's hard to put value to something that you've never seen, even though you've seen highlights. You know how good some of these guys were, but to go, oh, that's my favorite player, debatable. I can't even watch them play every week. So how are they? How are they your favorite player? Um, but let's jump to high school, man. Obviously, you have these gifts, you have these skills, you're progressing, you're playing for different teams. What high school did you attend?
I went to Reagan High School.
Reagan High School. So I don't know if you're aware, but just take all this in. You were rated the number 25 recruit in the country by Perfect Game. Not in the state, not in the region, not in the area, in the country. You were ranked the 34th best prospect in the 2021 MLB draft by Baseball America, named 2021 Gatorade North Carolina Player of the Year. You helped lead Reagan High School to the North Carolina 4A State Championship, won 2021 West Regional Championship, named 2021 Central Piedmont Central Pitcher of the Year, earned all conference honors all 4 years in addition to a pair of all state awards. But maybe the greatest thing that you accomplished was being
You
Tommy
like
Hawk's
that?
team, Tommy Hawk's teammate in high school. I skimmed through these accolades, but there were so many I didn't go through it, and I knew that I would butcher it if I didn't read it word for word. And Jim added that in there, being Tommy Hawk's teammate in high school. We had the privilege of talking to Tommy Hawk, and he's quite the character. And so let's talk about him for a second. We'll get back to all the other accolades, but let's talk about him. Has he always been like that fiery and like that? I'll say passionate. That's a good word for him. Very passionate and like, he's good with his vocabulary. He has an adult sense of vocabulary. If you know what I'm saying.
Always. I've known him since he was 13 years old. We started playing together when we were 13. So like before high school in travel ball. Um, Same guy. Never really changed. Got a little taller, stronger, but same guy.
I like it, Daniel. Kristen White said it best. He said he's the kind of guy that I would hate to play against, but absolutely love him as a teammate.
Yeah. That's the best way to describe it. If you play against him, you hate him because he just talks the whole game and he's gonna beat your ass and he's gonna win. It's
That's what
good.
he came. That's what he came on here and said. And then he doubled down. He came on our other show, Pros or Joes, with Brock, and basically said the same thing. That was the craziest thing. Daniel. We talk about foul mouth. Putting him and Mike on the same screen was the worst idea ever. Man, me and Brock are sitting there texting each other, talking about, man, like this episode is explicit.
You got if you have Tommy Hawk on there and people know. People you don't even have to market. They know. Like they know what they're gonna get from that guy. Um, when we look back at the accolades, all those things that I mentioned to you, Um, what do those mean to you? Do they mean anything at all, or are they just, uh, your hard work and that's cool? Or do they actually, when you hear somebody read it back to you, they go, man, shit, that was a big deal.
Yeah, I mean, it was cool, I guess, looking back on it now. Um, I was never like satisfied with any of that. I feel like I'm never satisfied with anything. Just because I feel like I'm so young. I feel like, I want so much of a lot of things to be ahead of me, I guess. I look forward to so many things ahead of my life that are unknown that, I'm not sure what's gonna happen. It's cool that those things have happened, but I don't really look, you know, backwards a lot. I try and look forwards most I can. And I guess when there are times, where you're struggling going through something, then you look back at it and like that gives you kind of motivation of like, well, I did this, like it was really cool, why can't I, progress and get to the next level? Or get to, my other goals. So I don't try and look back at all those, achievements or accomplishments. They're cool, but I want, the next thing ahead of me. So
So, when we talk to, you cats, I mean, you guys are significantly younger than us, but to hear somebody, with that kind of perspective, like that's a mature perspective to have because you're right. Like you can't look behind you because if you look behind you, you'll lose your way, and I think, LSU, when we talk about losing your way, like LSU is going to have a tough time because they're going to have to like reset and figure out, well, what we did last year, absolutely. It was great, but it means nothing now. And I think you guys are kind of in that same boat, like at Wake Forest. You had a great year. Obviously, you came up shorter than what you would like, but you can't discount the year that you guys had. But thinking about what you did last year, you kind of got to reset and move forward and think about what's ahead of you. So hearing you say that, like it shows me that one, like you guys are in the right mindset for what you got to accomplish this year. But two, like the maturity that you show with that answer is huge. Um, and if you're going to be a big league, player, like you always got to look forward. So um, kudos to you. Tip my hat to you for that. But when we talk about being an MLB prospect, you were rated the 34th best prospect. Um, how serious did you consider going straight to the pros?
it was, somewhat serious. I made my decision, you know, to put my name out really a couple days before the draft. I had a really late high school season that year because of COVID. So we got done June 26th, and then I went straight to summer school um, right before the draft. So I got a taste of like what Wake was like and all the guys and stuff. And that gave me a lot more clarity. So it's kind of like a 50-50 ordeal, if I'm being honest. And I had a lot of conversations with my family and stuff, but it was pretty serious.
He
Yeah,
saw
I
Michael Massey was there, and he was like, "I'm in, bro.
he probably got cursed out by Tommy Hawk.
You
Thinking
better,
so.
you better effing go, bro."
Yeah, so he was like, "Oh man, let me not make him mad." But no, like Jim, I've never had a decision like of that magnitude that I've had to ponder. But I mean, like that is a serious, like heavy ask, especially of, 18, 19, 20-year old that could be life changing.
But I think it speaks volumes to the programs, to the coaches. A lot of these guys who've had that decision, they've gone to colleges and felt like that's where they want to be. They talk about family, they talk about the possibilities of becoming better. And so ultimately is these colleges, it's their goal to show them that they have advantages to come to college versus going to the pros early.
Yeah, for sure. So obviously you pull your name out, you choose to go to Wake Forest. So what was the ultimate decision outside of Tommy Hawk cursing you out? Like what was it where you were like, that's where I'm going?
Yeah, I mean, really, I sat down and, had to kind of think, if I do this, I'm moving out to Arizona, Florida. I'm 18 years old. I've like never called an Uber in my life. Like I have no idea. Like I have a credit card, like I use that some. Like I don't know anything about anything really. And I was like, I don't think I'm ready to actually like go do that, truthfully. And I was at Wake at the time when I made my decision, and I was like, I actually love it here. Like I've known these freshman guys for like 3 or 4 years now, and we've been talking about being at Wake for 3 or 4 years, and like doing this. So it just all felt right. And just a lot of like prayer, and I think look back at it and it was like I was just pushed in that direction by God ultimately, which was pretty cool. Like, there's pros and cons to like both, but ultimately, I went to Wake. I think God pushed me in that direction. So
Yeah, so I bring up, Michael Massey, and he said on his episode recently, he talked about the advancement in pitching there, the coaching, the lab, and everything. How excited were you to go to a program where you as a pitcher, that you're going to be able to be taken to the next level?
yeah, that was a huge part in my college commitment was that just player development alone. I didn't know exactly what went into that, but player development was one of the biggest things that they preached. Coach Walter and Coach Salento, that's the biggest thing. So I was like, well, my main goal is to play in the big leagues for a long time, and I feel like this is what's going to give me the best option to do that. So that's a big reason, where we're at today is player development and the investment in each player on our team.
Yeah, absolutely. So, you start the season freshman, you're a weekend starter on Saturday. Like, was this something that you actually saw yourself doing coming in, or, did it kind of shock you that there you were, Saturday starter?
Yeah, I believed I was going to be a weekend starter. Um, I threw well in all the inner squads. I would get guys out, and that's kind of the plan they had for me. And I thought I was ready for sure. I was like, well, just ACC. I can definitely do this. Like I get my guys out on my team. Pretty good. Like I can go out and compete. And it was just the exact opposite. Which
And hey, that's where I was going to go. Daniel, he had the best thing happen to the start of a career that you can have. So he had success early, won his first 3 games, and then he got humbled real quick and lost his next three as he talked about the ACC. But I think that's something you need. You need to taste both sides, right? And gives you the availability to make the adjustments you need. So, you were fixing to get into it, I obviously cut you off. Talk about like how the start of that season, how it made you grow early and had to make adjustments.
Yeah, so I started out 3-0 against non-conference opponents. So I was like, okay, like this is how I drew it up, won 3 games, like or 3-0 whenever I'm playing, like that's good. And real quick, I got humbled, in ACC play, like the whole year. Especially the first 3 weeks were really tough on me. Because really I never struggled like that in my career. And honestly, I didn't know how to deal with it. And I was really young and I felt so bad because I would go out there and I would pitch terrible and we were losing. And I was like, I just want to win. Like I don't know what to do. Like I'm losing so much and my morals are right. I wanted to win, but I really wasn't ready for that. Yeah, I wasn't mature. My stuff wasn't very good. I would go out and compete, my hardest and try and just go out there and, go balls to the walls and do whatever I could, to get out of the inning. But it wasn't enough. And that's I attribute, this past year to my freshman year struggles. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. And so let me ask you, going further into the season, you said you didn't win or you didn't succeed in the ACC, but it's not how you started, it's how you finished. And you finished the season really strong. You did beat an ACC opponent in NC State at NC State. And then ultimately you get the win against Long Island in the regional. So how good was it to, finish strong, setting yourself up for, last year?
Yeah, it was cool to do that. Those were 2 really big games, the biggest games of the season. At NC State, we had to win that series to get in the tournament, and then obviously a regional. That was a lot of pressure. But yeah, that kind of set me up to go into the summer and play in the Cape and really just build off that momentum into the fall. And try and just develop any way I could to, help the team in the next year.
See, I'm gonna get on the SI department, Daniel. He said the Cape. It didn't have his Cape experience on there, so I didn't even know. So go and hit us with it. Talk about how much you learned and enjoyed the Cape, because it's one of those things that me and Daniel have not gotten to do yet, is go up there and experience watching you guys in the Cape, that we got on the bucket
Soon
list.
enough. Soon
I
enough.
mean, I've been to Omaha numerous times. I still ain't been to the Cape. One day.
Yeah, y'all gotta go to the Cape for sure. I was there for a little over a month. I was with Cam and Nassie. We were on the same team. We lived together with the host family, and it was awesome. I mean, it's 6 days out of the week you're playing baseball, and for me and Cam, like I threw once a week, and he threw twice a week. So we're going to the park every day. We're riding a school bus to the games, like a elementary school bus to the games. You're packed in there with other college athletes, which is really cool because you build a bunch of relationships with some of the best players in the country, which is that's kind of why you play the game. And so it's just super relaxed, very chill vibe. The coaches are great, great people. So it was a great experience, and I was super happy to be up there.
Yeah, so clearly with what happened there, obviously what happened in the freshman year, building that confidence, it carried over, because coming into last year, we like to we are not humble about this at all. We brag because we got mocked, we got laughed at, Josh, last year when we let our initial rankings out preseason last year. I had y'all at 3. Daniel actually had you higher than that, but we came together as a group and we put y'all at 3, and people were wanting to know what we were drinking because we had Wake Forest at 3. And when we talked about the depth in the pitching staff, we talked about the best 1-2 duo with Kurtz and Wilkin, and we just went through all these things, and we were mocked, and obviously we're going to see how that goes. But from a national perspective, y'all were an underdog. Y'all weren't going to be the team that we knew you to be. Um, but obviously, y'all come in strong. Just, how good did you guys feel going into last year? Did y'all feel the way that me and Daniel felt about y'all, that like y'all were going to be in Omaha and somebody to deal with, or it was one of those things you just had to see it all play out?
Yeah, so it's funny you say that because I think that, obviously the goal was Omaha or bust, like for all of us. Like that was really the whole thing. If we don't make it Omaha, like it's not a good season. But really what I think is we didn't know how good we actually were until our first ACC series at Duke, whenever we beat them on the road. We played a doubleheader like on a Saturday after we won Friday, dropped the first game, then we won the second game on Saturday, beat them, and they were really good. They were playing really well at the time. A lot of good pitchers, good staff. And after that, like there was just like something different changed within, I guess, the dugout or like how everybody went about their business. Because that kind of put us on the map, it seemed like, and it was kind of like, Wake Forest was, here to stay for that year.
I mean, it was good enough for me to go all the way to Winston-Salem from Mississippi and check y'all out against Notre Dame, because I wanted to see you guys in person. Obviously, we believed what we did, but I needed to see it in person. And obviously, y'all dropped that Sunday game, kind of like, I don't know, the bats just weren't going. But I saw what I needed to see to know, especially you guys pitching, like, because that game was more of a y'all didn't hit. But that first day, Rhett comes out, and I was like, man, okay, like this is as advertised. So, last year you at 2023 Baseball America first team All American. And earlier you said that the accolades don't matter. Look in the past, but man, I got to read these off. 2023 NCBWA first team All American, ABCA second team All American, Collegiate Baseball second team All American, first team All ACC, Golden Spikes Awards semifinalist, accumulated 11-2 record, good for third in the conference, eighth in the nation in total victories, struck out the second most batters in program history with 140 and a 2.1 ERA. So, obviously you have a dynamic offense behind you. That's one of the things everybody kept talking about, right? It was kind of funny how that shifted, Daniel. It was Rake Forest, right? And then everybody started to notice, oh, their best asset may be their pitching. But it's got to feel good to have the offense behind you. But for you personally, what was working for you to give you such success throughout the season?
Yeah, so really, just sticking to my routines, that's really the biggest thing. Being consistent, you want to be consistent throughout the year. So the process is really the most important thing, and everybody's process is different. Mine's different from Massey's and Burns's. So really just being present in every moment and not looking too far ahead, and getting off the result. I'm kind of a perfectionist, which is, fine sometimes, but it's detrimental a lot of times because I'm so worried about the result. And for me, I just don't even worry about the result. I try and focus on my process, and whatever happens, happens. That doesn't define me or my success really.
Yeah, no, it's funny how you talked about y'all have different routines. I got to watch y'all in Nashville against Vandy, and I sat purposely right there next to the bullpen, and I watched all y'all's, routine getting ready, and every one of y'all was different. And I noticed, and I don't know if it's because you were fixing to be the first one on the bump, but not talking much, completely laser focused, and that may be because, like you said, perfectionist. But everybody's different. Like it seemed like Michael and Burns were more relaxed, talking and everything. So everybody's got their own thing, but last year y'all punched the ticket to Omaha. Like, I mean, we could talk about last season all day. Like, so much fun, so much success, but ultimately you said the goal was Omaha. So when y'all actually punched the ticket, man, just how good did that feel for you and all the guys? Like, you said that was the goal that you set out to accomplish, and you accomplished it. And then from there, also talk to me about how you reset your mind, because while your goal was to get to Omaha, that's not the ultimate goal.
Yeah, I mean, it was really just like undescribable how like cool it was, to be honest. Like it was just like that stuff that you visualize and dream about as a kid, and then when it finally happens, you're like, is this real type of thing? Um, just because it was, something that we've worked for, for close to a year, it seemed like, and all that hard work put into like one game to
Mm.
finish it. And to be there with the guys that you love and care about. It was just, extremely special and something that I'll always remember, ultimately, which is really cool. And really, we have a lot of guys. We're fortunate that we have a lot of guys that weren't satisfied with just making it to Omaha. We knew that we could compete for a national championship, the way we were playing, and we were just going to go in and try and throw punches. In Omaha, why not?
Yeah, no doubt. So I was there. It's one thing for me to have a fan perspective, but talk to me about the duel between Rhett Lauder and Paul Skeens, dude. You're there watching that thing up close and personal. Just like, what's going through your mind watching these two dudes duel?
I mean, it was the best game I've ever watched. And to be in the dugout was really awesome. Just two great competitors, two great talents going at it. And whoever gave up the first run was gonna lose pretty much. That's how it was. And um, just watching that, watching greatness right there, like those two guys were great the whole year. They never, had a bad game or anything, and they never wavered during that game. There was so much pressure. So it was really cool. I mean, I've watched that game back twice. It's hurt, but I just love watching those two guys go at it because they're great talents and great people to look up to.
Yeah, now that was the funny part about talking to Michael. He was talking about having to come in that game after. I would never want to follow those two dudes up at all.
Definitely not.
No, but ultimately you guys lose to the eventual champ LSU, but you hear them talk about we've had those guys on and say talking about the most worthy opponent, talking about how Florida just did not match. I was there for that too. And I can tell you atmosphere, game, talent, everything. I understand that y'all lost in the semifinals, but it's the way the bracket played out. That was the championship to any LSU fans, any Wake Forest fans. Like that series was it. Like I would have liked to have seen it on the other end and y'all been on the other side and play, but two best teams, absolute, amazing series, like you said. And it sucks that somebody had to lose. And ultimately y'all did, but do you feel like even though, we're not the biggest silver lining people, but to have so much success, to get to Omaha, to win the ACC, to have all the accolades you did, like, I mean, the season wasn't lost because you didn't win it all, right?
Yeah, no, it was definitely not. I mean, this was the best Wake Forest team that, has pretty much been around for a while to this point, in this decade. So, we accomplished great things and, Team 109, they set the standard for Wake Forest baseball. And that's the line that the team, this year and the team after this year has to hold and, keep building on that. So Team 109 is very special.
Yeah, so it obviously gives y'all the motivation. You got guys, um, you and Nick and Mike, like we are talking about, obviously more guys than that, but leaves you guys even more hungry, right? Like you've been there, you've tasted it, and now you want to come home with the hardware. So what's the message? What's the motivation you guys are preaching to each other as you come in to this season? I know last year, I loved it because I mean I was rolling with that hashtag right out the gate with MTFY and make them feel you like is, what's the new, I'm not necessarily saying like a hashtag, but what's the new mantra? What are y'all rolling with to come out this year?
Yeah, so really, we've had a bunch of meetings about, what, we wanted this team to be remembered as, and we're actually kept, the same slogan or same mentality as make them feel you. Because that's kind of like, that's our team motto. It's like we want to make everybody feel us, everybody that, is around us, that watches us, to feel, our energy that we bring, the amount of, um, fun that we have with each other. Like that's kind of what we decided, it should be like. And we talked to the freshmen and, they all felt this watching us, like they want to be a part of it. And they work hard so we can, ultimately all get back to Omaha and compete for a national championship. So we thought, Kurtz actually came up with it. He's like, we should just keep it because we were trying to figure out what we should do, change the wording, like different, it just wasn't working. Like we're just gonna keep it the same. Like
Yeah, no,
teamwork.
I love what y'all got going. I was just wondering if y'all were rolling with that or if you came out with a different message. But I mean, it works, and I mean, and based upon what y'all did last year and then what you got coming this year, I feel like no reason to change anything.
Absolutely.
So let me ask you, is there added pressure now? We talked about kind of even though y'all felt a certain way, the way the country perceived y'all. Now that everybody, the rankings hadn't came out, but I'm pretty sure you're going to be the preseason number one. Everybody has these projections. Obviously, you look at pro projections. Five of y'all guys are in the top 33, which is just ridiculous. Like, how do you not let that distract you and go out there and take care of business and get caught up in the hype?
Yeah, it's pretty just the way you look at it, ultimately. It's just all about your perspective and how you view things. For us to be in that position and, to have that hype, like it's a privilege, to have that. That just goes to show what people think of you. And ultimately, we just have to go out there and, win. That's what we're just all competing together and having fun together. And we're all worried about our process and focused on that. So for us, it's like we're just gonna go out, we're gonna have fun. We're not worried about the outside noise. We haven't won anything. None of that means anything. So we're gonna stick to our process and just play for the guy beside you. That's all you can do.
So, last thing we want to know coming into this season, everybody knows the usual suspects, right? So let's start on the pitching side. Everybody knows you, Burns, Massey. Like, who are the other guys? Give us a couple names that everybody needs to be on the lookout for. Could be starters, could be guys out of the bullpen. Give those who maybe aren't in Winston-Salem, a little knowledge on who they need to be watching.
Yeah, so I'll start out with a couple freshmen. Um, Hayden LaFew, freshman lefty, he pitched at Vandy, up to 96, just a dog mentality. And Blake Morningstar, righty. One of those guys probably be the midweek, maybe, but I hope they pitch on the weekend in the ACC. Those two guys are going to be legit. They're going to, be young, but they're going to pitch a lot of innings for us this year and be a big part of our success. And we have a couple transfers. David Falco, he's going to be a
Hmm.
really good attribute. He might be our closer this year, which is pretty cool. And obviously Cole Rowland, he's going to be a big part of it. Tweaking Deacon, can't forget about him.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
We're reloading. We have a lot of guys. We have a lot of depth. So there's gonna be a lot of guys that come out throwing punches, throwing hand grenades. So I'm excited to watch some of these guys.
Dude, as if I wasn't already fired up, Daniel. This man, I mean, he's coming out with nicknames and then talking about throwing punches and hand grenades. All right, well, since we're gonna talk grenades, we gotta talk bombs. Who are the hitters outside of Nicky Nukes and Kurtz? Tell me the other Hawk can swing it too.
Yeah, Austin Hawk can swing it. He's gonna swing it for sure. He's gonna get some couchies out at the couch. And he's gonna field really good. He might field 1,000 this year. He's got a insane glove.
Yeah, watching watching him and Seaver when I was in Nashville watching you guys play that middle infield, I was like, ooh, I was like, one of the underwritten storylines might be they might have the best middle infield in baseball too.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy if you think about our infield because Kurtz, he's 80 grade. We call him 80 grade because his defense is unreal. And we have
Unreal. His stretch, he makes, because of his length, he makes some things that are harder for the average individual make look real easy.
yeah, it's crazy. It's I've seen him for 2 years now, and I saw it my freshman year, and I was like, this dude's insane. And he just kept building off of that. And our third baseman, Adam Tellier, he played shortstop at Ball State, so our third baseman is a shortstop. So we have a really good infield. But Jake Reinish, he's gonna swing it. It's his revenge tour this year. He's gonna go crazy for sure. And Adam Tellier, as I mentioned before, also Tate Ballesteros. He's gonna be really good. He's gonna swing it. We just have a bunch of dogs in our lineup. That's what we like.
Well, I'll say this, and I'll let Daniel take over. This year, I'm gonna be there for Duke. I'm hoping I get a little bit warmer weather this time in March, but I'll be there for y'all to start ACC play, and man, I look forward to it. Like, I mean, I got expectations now. Don't let me down, Josh.
Nah, definitely not.
Nah, bro, he's ready. Trust me, he's ready. I mean, they're itching for this thing to get going. I bet. All right, Josh, man, let's move into the last portion of our time together. That's the game that we play. It's sweeping the country. It's called This or That. You down to play?
Sure, I'm ready.
All right, so it's very simple. I give you two options. You choose one option or the other. Can't say both, can't say neither. Just pick one, be decisive, go with your heart, and whatever happens, happens, man.
All right.
All right, Jim, who is This or That brought to you by?
Chinook Cedary.
That's right. The best seeds in the game. Flavors from mild to wild. Whether you're on the field or in the boardroom signing deals, it's the snack. It's the go-to. And tonight, Jim, I've got something special for you.
What you got?
I am going to taste test a little combo that I like to call smoky and toasty.
Oh,
Smoky and toasty. Smokehouse barbecue with a cinnamon toast. So,
what are you gonna do if one of these turns out bad? Are you gonna be honest on the air?
oh yeah. That's fire.
Don't lie. Is it? Is it? Because I'm gonna try it later, and if you're lying to me,
No, it's fire. Here's why. It's like you know how there's barbecue sauces that are spicy, and then there's some that are tangy, and then some that are sweet.
mm,
This is like a good mixture. Like you get a little kick, but you get a little sweetness too.
what are you rating? What are you rating this? Putting this together?
People are gonna think I'm crazy, but this is a 9. This right here is a 9. This is the highest
I was gonna say that
I've
is
ever
high.
given. And I hate to do that because it's two really dime.
But all the best things that I've heard from the players are combos. It's never just the seeds by themselves are amazing, but it's never just one. And people got different combinations. Josh, have you had Chinook?
I have not, no, but sounds like
Whoa, Michael Massey and Seaver King. I am on y'all like water rice because they got boxes that have been sent and they're not sharing. Daniel, how do we feel about this? Pretty unacceptable behavior.
We gotta get you on board, Josh, because the smoky and toasty, man, that's what's up.
Like he said, we're gonna get you 8 flavors sent to you, mild to wild. I'm a little disappointed. I'm gonna hit up Mike after this is over and tell him he ain't my boy no more.
that's right. I need to try smoky and toasty. I mean, you giving it a 9? That's crazy.
It
I'll
is.
tell you what I got in
dynamite.
front of me while we're talking. So these are Paul Skeen's favorite. As a matter of fact, I don't see him without Parmesan pepper, so I call him Parmesan Paul's. That's his favorite. But man, I'm actually a cinnamon toast guy, and I also like original. But I mean, you got jalapeno ranch, you got the smokehouse, like you said, you got dill pickle, which Ty Floyd likes. I don't like anything pickle, so it's not me. But I mean, as me and Daniel said, there's something for everyone, right? Like everybody's got their own taste of stuff, but apparently we gotta try this out when we get you some seeds. We gotta try smoky and toasty. If you're lying to me, no, Daniel, I'm calling you out on
Bro,
Twitter.
the smoke and toast is where it's at. Trust me.
All right.
Like you're
I
gonna.
wonder if anyone's done that yet. I wonder if you just created a new one.
I hope I did. my goal is to create a clever little name for all these combos. So I don't, we'll see what's next. So, but let's get into this. All right, Josh, I'm gonna give you a little layup. Just so you know, Jim doesn't even know this, but I have some new this or that questions that I'm gonna pilot with you. So if we feel like they're good, we're gonna keep them.
So does that mean mine are thrown out?
No, we're gonna keep those too. I just got a few that I'm adding into the mix. Just a feeler. But layup question: baked potatoes or mashed potatoes?
Mashed potatoes.
Definitely. You going with the works: butter, sour cream, cheese, little everything, bacon. Just whipping it up.
You got to.
Definitely. Um, this is a funny question because I went to the bathroom today and I had the decision between the two of these, and I was really thrown off on why. Would you rather have liquid soap or bar soap?
Liquid.
Me too. I thought it was weird that there was a bar soap in the bathroom for starters. And then I was like, well, how many hands have actually been on this bar soap? That's
Well,
very
that's what I was
strange.
going to say. In my own home, I prefer the bar soap because I prefer the bar in general, but I ain't trying to share with the general public like that.
No, I ain't. Even at home, I think I would prefer liquid soap.
I always think of the Friends episode where he's using his and he goes, just think about the last thing I wash and the first thing you wash.
Very true. Very true. All right. Snakes or spiders?
What I most fear?
No, if you had to keep one of them.
Spider. Yeah.
Bro, Daniel, I hadn't told you this yet, but Liam Spence said, the Aussie said in Australia, it's always spider season. Those pictures you see with the webs, he said it's like that in the country all season. I said, how do you live there? He said, I don't leave the city. Bro,
Bro,
I'm never going to Australia ever.
no, they have snakes too. I've
But I
watched
can
the
deal with
show.
snakes. I don't want the giant tarantulas, man.
No, bro, you can't deal with these snakes. We're talking about mambas and stuff, dude. Did you know that there's black mambas and there's green mambas?
Man,
Like
no,
one
we
is
only know about
enough.
black because of Kobe.
I'm telling you, it's crazy out there in Australia. All right, this is a new question.
Hold on, you're coming from a guy. Let me tell you something, Josh. Hurricane season comes around. This man lives in Tampa, Florida. He got alligators in his driveway. I don't want to hear nothing from you.
I mean,
He
that's
sent
but
me a
that's
picture one day like it was okay. It was casual, like, man, locking myself in the bedroom.
I ain't going outside for that. No
I
way.
mean, you just got to make sure your head's on a swivel. Never know, never know what's going to be out there. All right, new question. Would you rather be the donkey for pin the tail on the donkey or the pinata during a birthday party?
I'll be the pinata. I don't want to be the donkey. No
I
way.
mean, just think. All right. So,
I'm gonna be the
let's
donkey.
picture
You
this.
ain't beating me with no bat,
Let's picture little Nick Kurtz
man.
steps up to the plate.
You didn't tell me this. Okay.
Yeah, I mean it's a
That's
team baseball party, and Nick Kurtz, Brock Wilken, and Tommy Hawker coming up to hit you.
they are going to destroy you. Like it's not even going to be fun.
Yeah.
I like how you gave him a question with no winning scenario, though.
Yeah, for sure. Like can't always be fun and games. All right. Would you rather live in Antarctica or the Sahara Desert?
Sahara Desert.
Ooh.
I don't like the cold.
So you're a hot guy. I don't know, man. That's a tough question. Jim, what would you take?
Antarctica.
I think so too. Like if I had the ability to stay warm, I think that's where I would be.
I mean I've been stationed in Iraq when it was 142. Like I know what the desert feels like, and it sucks, bro.
Here's the problem. You haven't been stationed in Antarctica, so you don't know what that's like. So
I'll
you're
play with
very
the
biased
penguin.
on your opinion.
I'll play with the penguins, bro. So this is like the Jordan LeBron thing.
Yeah, for sure. Um, New question. Would you rather, if you had to wear one of these two items every day, all day, would you rather wear a catcher's mask or would you rather wear your spikes? Both of those are terrible.
That's terrible.
All
I
the
hate I hate the sound of spikes.
Could you imagine clip clopping your way around campus in some spikes all day?
It would have to be the spikes. Like I can't wear a catcher's mask.
Oh man,
I have to deal with the spikes.
dang. I think you could. I don't know. I think you could be less annoying with the catcher's mask, but you could. You definitely couldn't hide from anybody. Like, well, I guess with spikes either. But man, that's
I guess you're protected with a mask. I mean, anything happens.
Jim would just walk around talking so much smack to everybody. He'd be like, "I wish you would do something. Got this mask
I'm
on."
wearing the spikes and I'm going to talk smack and kick somebody.
Yeah,
Nah,
it's true.
that's crazy. All right, would you rather go to a costume party or a pool party?
Pool party.
Pool party. All right. Have you? When's the last time you've been to a costume party?
October.
Halloween?
Halloween. Yeah.
What was your costume? Just curious. What was your go-to?
I was a Teletubby.
Yes.
Seems like that was just a last minute choice.
It was a couple days. Actually, it was four guys. Me, Seaver, Burns, and then Charlie Jones on our team.
Hey,
And
those are some confident guys, Daniel.
Well,
it was fun. We got a lot of compliments.
what
And
color Teletubby were you?
I was red.
Red. All right. Decent. Decent. All right. I think this, I hate to say it because I feel like I'm going to maybe pump this question up and it's going to overpromise and underdeliver. But I think this has potential, Jim, to be one of the best questions we ever ask on this or that. All right. If you had to kiss one way for the rest of your life, would it be like a dog where you just lick? Or would it be like you're given CPR where it's just open mouth?
I'm licking.
Hey, no hesitation. And it comes out and he says it casually and it just felt awkward when he said it. Oh,
It's so like open mouth kisses. Like you don't have kids, but if you have a kid, like when they're a baby, that's how they attack you.
right.
And it's cute, but it is the most awkward feeling and just
And they
yeah,
drool on you. Yeah.
it's bad. All right. Would you rather be lost in the jungle or trapped in a haunted house?
Lost in the jungle.
Yeah, I think the jungle would be more fun. I mean,
You have,
spiders and snakes, though,
you have
but
a chance of survival. You get a demon, you're done.
Mm.
true, true. And like, at least you know how to kill certain things in the jungle. I don't know how you kill the what's already dead. Uh,
That's fact.
Facts, bro. All right. New question. This is the last of the new questions. Would you rather take back anything wrong or embarrassing you ever said, or would you rather be able to hear every conversation about you?
Mm,
Take back any embarrassing or wrong thing you've ever said,
yeah.
or hear any conversation about you.
Take back anything I've said embarrassing. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's easy, Daniel, because I don't want to hear what people said about me. That's gonna hurt my feelings, bro.
Jim, let's be real. You know what people say about you. I mean,
Man, a lot.
I don't go on Twitter much, but I'm on there enough to know what people say about you.
I mean, haters gonna hate. You told me the more popular I became, the more haters there'd be, and you just lie.
Because people like hating, but
Because let's
people really like hating the people that they can get under their skin. And
it's
you're
like
that guy.
for instance, I have Wake Forest picked to win it all. And then I get told I'm an idiot. And then Daniel, I tell them I've never picked the college baseball champion wrong preseason for the 4 seasons we've had this show. Hey, who are you arguing with? I'm the champ.
That's
I mean,
And fun fact, Josh, let me tell you why y'all are gonna win it all. And I've told a few people this. So, fun fact, we call it the IOTB effect. Whatever team we had the most players from on in the fall of the season before, they won. So it literally was Mississippi State, then it was Ole Miss, and it was LSU. Well, we had 5 on this fall from Wake Forest. It is the most. Just lock it up, man. Everybody go put their money down now.
Let's go.
I'll be real with you though. Like the year that Ole Miss won it, we weren't so sure that
In
was
the
going to
fall, I
be
was,
the
and they
case.
ended up ranked #1, and they had me believe it. And then I went to the series where Tennessee beat the dog crap out of them, and I thought, okay, what was I doing picking this team? And then they ended up winning it all, made me look good.
There you go. All right, Josh, last question, man. We'll let you get out of here. Would you rather be the #1 overall pick in the draft next year, or would you rather win a national championship this year?
Win a natty, 1,000%.
Another liar.
That's a $10 million pay cut.
I'll take it.
I used to always say it was a liar until Paul Skeens came on here after he got drafted and still stuck with the same answer. So I'll let it slide, but I don't know, man. $10 million is a lot of money.
That's a lot of coin.
It got flipped on me last night though, Josh. I told Daniel I was caught completely off guard. And then boys last night said, would you rather do $10 million or the podcast? I said, the podcast. He said, no, no, no. He goes, think about this. He said, with the national championship comes all the memories that come with it, all the relationships. He said, so over the last 4 years, all the games you've went to with your son, all the players you met, all the friends you've made, it's all gone. And I was like, bro, this is why I don't sit in the hot seat. I don't like this question.
I'm gonna be honest, Jim. That's easy. You'd be finding another host, man. For 10 mil, I'm out. Well, love you.
You haven't gone all the trips, man. You gone all the trips. Me and my son been to Omaha 3 years in a row. I ain't taking it back.
Man, bump your son. 10 mil. He'll be all right. His feelings might be hurt for a minute.
Fun fact, because he brought up Cam earlier. Him and Cannon's picture in Omaha is probably my favorite picture he took. It looked like it was professionally done, Daniel.
Oh, because you took it?
No, I take all the pictures. This one just specifically came out perfect. He was down by the field with Cam, and they took it, and I was like, man, I made it my profile picture next day.
Let's go. All right, Josh, man. Anything you want to plug or promote before you bounce?
I don't think so, man. Go Deeks.
Go Deeks. So I'll help you out. If you want to know what Josh Hartle's up to on a Wednesday night, maybe he's recording a podcast. Maybe it's Taco Tuesday on campus. Who knows? Going over to IG at Josh Hartle 25, or if you want all the scores, updates, you want pitching rotations, you want hype videos, go over to IG at Wake Baseball. Josh, man, we wish you nothing but the best. First and foremost, healthy season, happy season, have a lot of fun, and who knows, man, you guys hopefully will be back in Omaha with a chance to do something magical this year.
Yes, sir. Thank you guys for having me.
Absolutely. We're going to bring you back on too. We're going to talk about it. Regardless, win or lose, man. We're going to talk to you because we want to know
I'll be
how
back.
it all went down. But that's Josh Hartle, everybody. If you like hearing Josh's story or you just like hearing us average Joes talk X's and O's, please like and share the podcast on Facebook. Retweet us on Twitter. Listen and subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Anchor. As always, comments, ratings, feedback, thumbs up, hearts, hugs, loves. We'll take it all. We'll see everybody tomorrow night. We got North Carolina baseball star Vance Honeycutt on the show. We're going to talk North Carolina baseball. We're going to talk his story. We're going to talk it all. We're going to see what the Tar Heels can do to match the expectations that the Demon Deeks have this year. So it'll be interesting to see. This has been the In Off the Bench podcast. As always, remember, strong body, sharp minds, grit and grind all the time. We're out.